Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I bust soon, soon. Know as a child back in the womb. Oh.
Hello YouTube. Right, so today we are at Muscle Bound Gym in Bradford and it's leg day. It's 4 weeks out leg day, so I've probably only realistically got maximum 3 more sessions left of this on this prep. So obviously, you know, it's a chance to kind of give it my all. I've just come off the back of a 2-day refeed where I had 375 grams of carbs going in on both of those days. So I'm kind of running off that energy. So it's okay, despite the fact that my carbs are low today. My new sort of like training day carbs are 90, unfortunately. So I've only got 90 grams of carbs. So I've had 35 gram bowl of oats this morning. I've had a couple of rice cakes, and that's it for like till Monday now, because it's a rest day tomorrow and there's like pretty much no carbs. But yeah, I'm running on the sort of the carbs of the last couple of days, and I'm feeling fairly energized. I'm feeling fairly good. I'm ready to obviously attack it. You know, like I say, every session counts at this point because I've only got about 3 left really of this session. So yeah, gonna go and attack it and have a good one.
If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Since they paid to see a show, got the South overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me, they take no, raise a toast to the goat, yeah. Body be dripping and fancy, pat on my nose with that fancy.
Adductors are always harder than they look. Like, set the working weight thinking, oh yeah, and then you get 9 reps and you're like, imagine if I'd gotten heavier than that. But I've knocked it down a couple of pins now because I actually want like more than 10 reps hopefully. Because I'm just doing 2 working sets.
50s and 20s, stage set, lot of them, rags, house by the lake, bought that, ops to the brakes, draw back, paddock on my wrist, I'ma hit them with a drip, they gon' pay the VIP to get a pic with me, I'm a star, brand new keys to the car, I'm the boss and the king of the czar.
Getting closer to a working weight. It's always like hard to gauge when you're like not used to the kit. You just kind of have to do a few different warm-up sets, a couple of reps each time just to kind of gauge what might be a working weight. And even then you might just not quite get it right and you just end up having to do more reps than you thought or less and just kind of go with it.
I'm so high, so addicted, telling me I'm the only queen of his heart. Guess I let you co-star. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Since they paid to see a show, got the South overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Watching me, they take no, raise a toast to the goat, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the
Hamstrings.
got the South overflow, yeah. If I gotta
It's
do
really, really light. I just like to do the machine weight and kind of get a feel for the machine, obviously setup wise. And for me, whenever I'm on any kind of leg extension, because I'm so short, it's usually just a matter of bringing the seat as far forward as it'll go. That's just clicked in. And then obviously you've got this adjusting as well, if I need to kind of, obviously I want it to be quite nicely placed on my ankles. So I might just bring this slightly higher. Just one, and see how that feels. Yeah, that feels better. Feel quite nice and locked in there, which is good. And the thing I like about this machine as well is I can actually reach the handles so I can keep myself locked in. So my bum's locked into the pad as well when I'm actually performing the movement, which is great. And then now it's just a case of choosing which one of the stacks I want to put it on. So obviously depending on where you put it with the Prime kit, they always have the different loading points. So if you wanted to challenge yourself more in the shortened range or the lengthened, or just in the mid-range, you put it in the middle one. But yeah, to be honest, at this point, I'll probably just put it in the middle. Just keep it normal. So that's 20. Yeah, if I had a normal, like if this was my normal leg day kit, I would maybe kind of think more about what I was doing in terms of loading. But because I'm just kind of using this as a one-off, I'm just like gonna keep it in the mid and just do it as kind of like as feeling it as normal as possible to my usual leg extension. I'll usually use I think it's a Nautilus one that I use normally. Not do too many reps to warm up, but just enough to kind of get some blood in the muscle and just kind of get a feel for the exercise. And then I'll just start to load it up a bit more. going to knock off at 10 kilos for the back off. That was 10 reps, so try and get a higher rep set on the back off. But yeah, quads feel nice and pumped now. This is kind of my last accessory exercise that I'll do. So I've done the adductors, I've done the lying hamstring curl, and I've done this. And then usually I do a hack squat, which I might not do today. I think that I don't want to try the Cybex hack for the first time when I'm 4 weeks out. And the Nautilus hack, I've tried it before, and it's a bit too big for me. I'm a bit too short for it, so I'll probably look at using something else, maybe the Rogers hip press that I've heard is really cool to try. So yeah, just a different compound probably. But yeah, basically after this set, I'll be going into my compound work.
Mastermind creator of this high vibe energy. Only thing I'm loyal to is building a legacy. So quit testing me. Lot of commas in the bank, I'm a provider. Tell the amateurs stay in their lane, ain't no outsider. Bought a mansion in LA, right next to
Horrible every time. The knee sleeves will be going on. Cool. Right, let's load it. Yeah, this is short person friendly. It's got the shorter setting for me, so I like it. Bad. Fine. Yeah, so I only like to do like a rep each time, so it's very energy demanding. So I just like to do 1 rep just to kind of gauge, is this weight okay for me? Would I be able to take that for a set? And then I'll kind of just work up from there until I do a rep and think that feels like a working weight, and then I'll leave it and start the working set. But I'm going to see how 2.5 plates feels for this, and then we'll take it from there. Tough decisions to make now. 3 plates would be like PB vibes. We'll do it.
I learned to own my style, how I got this smile. Conquer fear, got the crown. Can't nobody bring me down. I'm looking good, quite frankly. Tim's a fitted big Yankee. Then I'm cold when I'm out east. I'm top tier, you can't rate me. Stop talking, baby, go get it. You start something, better finish. Yeah, that rooftop still a missing. I'm independently winning. Master P taught me no limit. Faith got me dominion. God give it, can't diminish. I'm set apart, I'm distinguished. You a baddie, baby. You gotta own it on the style and your grace. You better own it, on it. All they wanna do is copy and paste, but you they can't replace. So on it, on it, on it, on it. You a baddie, baby. You gotta own it on the style and your grace. You better own it, on it. All they wanna do is copy and paste.
Fuck. Woo. Oh. Going for that last one felt risky. That's what I love about the Pendulum though. I've never failed on it. Like no matter what, I'll always get it back up. Oh, oh come on. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. That's good. Big heavy shit out the way now. When I do my leg press, the horizontal, the whole point of it at the moment in prep is I've got this big heavy, obviously it's usually the hack, Pendulum today, and then with a leg press, I'll do high rep sets, aiming for minimum 15 reps, hopefully over 20, just to like really pump some blood into the quads The goal of the set is just to keep it really, really continuous as well. Not allowed to pause between reps. Like obviously I did that a lot there. Sometimes like 5 more seconds rest. No pause in between reps, straight in with the next one. And then when you just physically have to pause, that's when you stop the set. So it just means that you don't end up pausing for like 5 seconds and then being able to kind of keep going and going and going and going. As soon as you can't keep it continuous, you stop the set. And that just stops me from doing sort of like too much really big heavy work, because obviously I've got to really take care of my knees. I'm doing like 20,000 weighted steps a day at the moment. I've got my cardio and stuff like that. I've got all my posing every day in heels, you know, so I've got to really take care of my knees at this point. They're already like super niggly, and obviously I had loads of issues at the start of my prep as well when I was 4 weeks in, and I had to like literally stop training legs because my knee seized up. So I'm always super careful. It's about, you know, getting the most out of your training that you can without kind of, you know, injuring yourself. So it's all about training smarter, not harder sometimes, and that's kind of what I've been doing. So I'm going to settle on, obviously, like I said, it's going to be a high rep set, so I don't want to go too heavy or regret that when I don't get the rep range. So heavy enough, but if I end up getting like plus 20 reps, it's better than doing a low rep set in my opinion at this point in the session. So let's see.
Look at me go, look at me flex, that's not a plane, more like a jet. I heard the song, we ain't impressed, then she heard me, now she undressed. To make it all worse, I got a check. You want a verse, double the check. I wanted this, then I got this.
One more. Yeah. Oh, 21, good. So yeah, you always think you can go heavier, but like I said, when you keep going and going continuously, your quads just, they're absolutely full of blood and you just end up failing like that. So it's best not to go too heavy. Honestly, it's a similar sensation to being on the leg extension, that feeling you get in your quads when you're doing like really high continuous reps on like a horizontal leg press like this. So yeah, that was good, 21 reps. So I'll like lighten the load by a couple of pins and then aim to get, you know, a similar rep range. And this is the last, I call this like the last big set of the session, because after this I've got seated hamstring curl to finish, so just more hamstrings. So both of my leg days I do 2 hamstring curl variations, just because they are really a weakness for me. They're like pretty much non-existent last time I competed, so I've really, really tried to bring them up this off season and obviously prep. So yeah, 2 variations of hamstring curls in like both of my leg days. Sipping on my EAAs between, like, these are the kind of supplements that you don't need, but they're a nice to have. And for me, they are very nice to have. Like, ever since I started using them about 3 years ago, I would say, I've just never looked back. They really keep me hydrated and sustained. And if you get like a good one, like this is like the Innova Farm ones, they sort of have like, they have pink Himalayan salt in it as well. You know, stuff that keeps you hydrated. So it's like really, really good. You know, sort of like sorts out your electrolyte imbalance if you've got that, you know, when you've sort of been training as well. So it keeps just everything just nice and ticking up. So yeah, basically stops you from getting like super depleted, and it really does hydrate you. And it does have the full stack of like all 9 essentially amino acids as well. So yeah, sometimes people ask me about BCAAs and I'm like, when you can get EAAs, which usually have all of the essential amino acids in, as opposed to BCAAs, which sometimes just have like 2, yeah, I would always opt for EAAs. Oh, yes. 29. Ooh. That was a high rep set. Felt good though. Ooh. Boom. Nearly done. 2 more working sets. So yeah, at this point of prep, pretty much on my leg day, everything is just 2 working sets. So obviously throughout the off season, when I had more energy, more food, everything was kind of tapered up and I could get away with maybe like 3 working sets on hamstring, stuff like that. But for now, you know, I'm recovering just fine from doing 2 working sets for every single exercise. So obviously like I've got 6 exercises. So yeah, basically 12 sets across this session is just enough for me to just keep things as they should be and just keep my recovery in a good spot, really. Something to think about when you're in prep, just, you know, managing your volume so you can kind of manage your recovery. That's not too bad. Feels decent. Locked in. Yeah, I love a seated hamstring curl where you don't have to like hold on for dear life because you're actually just properly locked in with the seat. Not many like that, unfortunately, but this one's very good. Happy with it. Because sometimes I find that for some reason I'll just like spread my feet out too wide and then I'll start the set and it'll be too late. But try and think about just lining up your joints when you're doing this. Same with the leg extension.
When I want that, I'ma forget that. This how I look when you threaten and kill it. I gave a warning and they didn't listen. I'm at the ceiling, that's independent. She in the feelings and that's when they finish. I've been around in your cities and states. I taking down on your biddies today. I wanna crown for the busiest days. You just a clown with your minimum wage, word. This how I go when you pop it. This how I go when you hot. Funnier now and I drop it. None of the numbers come drop. She be on me and that's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it. You do what you want when you hot.
Yes. Woo. Nice. I like to try and do an alright amount of reps, like fairly high rep, but that was 14, so I like to sort of do that at the end, just get loads of blood in my hamstrings at the end of the session. So if I went too heavy, it would just be unproductive at this point. Obviously, a lot of my energy is kind of depleted by now from all the other sets I've done. So yeah, to make the most out of this, I won't go super heavy. I'll just kind of go a little bit lighter, try and go for higher reps, and just, yeah, really switch on the hamstrings, because like I said, they need to grow. And I find that when I do lighter loads, generally in higher reps, I get a much better connection with them. So I'm keeping the weight the same, and then you know, I might even manage to match that, or if I get a little bit less, it'll still be like 12 or so. So I'm going to keep the weight. Last set of the session. Okay. Yes. Ooh. Oh. Yep, that was 14 reps again. So I had a feeling I'd match. I seem to match every week, to be honest. Obviously different seated hamstring curl in a different gym, but I always seem to match. It's almost like your hamstrings are sort of so primed after the first set that they're ready to go again and just sort of smash the second set. So you sort of end up matching it somehow rather than dropping reps. That seems to be how it happens anyway. So yeah, 2 good sets there. That's the end of the session. And now obviously I don't do abs after my leg days. I'm usually quite smashed after legs. So I do abs like after all my upper sessions instead, so they get hit like 3 times a week. But yeah, after leg day, obviously just like after every session, I'll do some posing. So yeah, posing post legs is obviously pretty hard, but it's a good indicator of kind of for when you're on stage, because trust me, on show day you're so depleted, so tired, and you've obviously got to go on stage and absolutely smash it. So it's good practice if you can just post legs, and if you can do that, you can definitely do it on show day.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I bust soon. Knew as a child back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm back to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I gotta gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and Dan, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine.
Okay, that's leg day boxed off. It was actually a really good session. I even PB'd on the Atlantis Pendulum, which is, I've never done 3 plates before. Skeptical about whether that was like just a lighter Atlantis Pendulum than other gyms, but either way, it was a really good session. You know, every single set went well. And yeah, I felt like loads of energy. Like I said earlier in the video, obviously because of the refeeds, I'm still feeling the effects of that, and it's been really productive leg session today. You know, the last few weeks sometimes it's been a little bit difficult training just because I've been running lower carbs, and you know, I do find myself getting really depleted throughout the sessions, and you know, by the end I'm pretty much like falling asleep and just needing to like, you know, quickly eat sort of post-workout food. But yeah, no, that was really good, really energized. Bumped into a few people I know as well, which is nice. You know, this gym's getting more and more busy now. It's quite a new gym, but yeah, it's a really good gym. A couple of my mates that own it and run it, and yeah, they've picked out some of the best kit around. So yeah, it was really cool to try some of that. Unfortunately, couldn't get on the Rogers hip press because I'm too short for it. Same as the Nautilus hack, I'm too short for that. Some pieces of kit I just can't get on, but yeah, we did the Pendulum instead, and it was great. Used the Nautilus horizontal leg press, which I've got at House of Gains I'm used to using, and that was really good as well. So yeah, no, all in all, a really good session. And yeah, 4 weeks today I'll be on stage, which is amazing. So yeah, we're about to run into the last kind of little dig now, really. We'll just be digging, especially for that lower half Bria condition that I really need to bring in. Obviously, I'm coming in the upper, but we've got to catch up at the bottom for now. So lots of digging to come, low carb days, and yeah, getting the job done pretty much. And I'm really excited to yeah, finish off this prep and get on stage.